Russell Westbrook, 40 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, and a massive statement win in Los Angeles. What makes Russell Westbrook so good, the much maligned player? I'm going to show you a few things that maybe you didn't notice, a few points of intensity, a few things he does incredibly well, his nonstop mode or nonstop competitiveness. Make sure you follow at ScoutWithBryan, Twitter, Instagram, the podcast, all platforms. Let's dive into the film to see exactly what makes Russell Westbrook so good. First and foremost, the pace is unbelievable. Just plays at a breakneck speed. You see the Clippers, the Rockets basically take turns with who gets the outlet between Harden and Russ. But here they notice that Russ is being double teamed basically in the backcourt. They're trying to jam him up. Okay, so Westbrook will take it himself. Look at this. McLemore ends up missing this shot, but this is 21 seconds on the shot clock that Russ gets him a wide open corner three. His pace and speed getting up the ball up the floor are unbelievable. Little thing here, but you just see defensively, you might not notice, but he is usually always, if not always, in the right spots. You see on the weak side here, your job is to be away and towards the ball. Look at him have a foot in the paint. James Harden's not really supposed to help that much, but you know what? He's living with Beverly shooting a little bit, which is fine, but Westbrook is the guy that's the help guy here. He is ready. If Kawhi really has his man beat, if he gets all the way to the basket, Russ is there ready to take away that drive. And then by being down there, that's a big part of why he gets so many rebounds, which then fuels his offense. Look again, 19 seconds on the shot clock when he scores early in the third quarter, cutting into that big lead, attacking Zubac at the rim. Look at this. Off a made basket. He kind of eased the ball up the floor a little bit this time, but he sees, look, eyes always up, sees Daniel House not matched up correctly. Paul George loses him behind the defense. Call this guy selfish. Yeah, right. One of the best passers in the league year after year. Look at this. This is a big boy rebound. Capella doesn't have this rebound. Long shot, long rebound. They need Russ to go get that one. And then again, look at him putting just the constant pressure on the defense, getting to the free throw line, making his free throws like he did phenomenally well. He's just a bowling ball in transition. If you don't do a good job getting back, building a wall, you're really in trouble. You see him here in the strong corner, not giving too much help, doing his job. And then you don't have to be a big man to run the floor. Daniel House has it in transition. Look at this. This was a huge, huge play. Down 3 with 4 minutes left. Russ running the floor and one. And then the much maligned mid-range jumper. You know what? Yes, he doesn't shoot it unbelievably, doesn't shoot it incredibly from 3, but he has it as a tool in the toolkit. He is very much a rhythm player. These are the same shots he gets killed for down the stretch when they don't go in sometimes, but you know what? He also has games like this where he puts up 40 where they're a big part of his scoring attack. That one really, you see again, just the transition speed, 21 seconds on the shot clock, getting the outlet pass near half court, not just waiting around in the backcourt for it, catching it with a head of steam and attacking the rim. What a crafty finisher. He's done a great job this season. You see the kind of up and under to get it to the right side of the basket. Nice spin off the glass, doing a really nice job finishing. Here you see the mid-range again. Against this drop coverage, you really need this as a weapon. I watched Houston play in the preseason. I thought they were going to kind of demand this out of Russ's game. I like that they've relaxed it a little bit. Seemed like they're letting him play the game, take his shots a little bit. Harrell dropped all the way back at the rim here. Russ plants that foot, little one-legged fadeaway. Money. How about here? Clippers played this about as perfectly as you want to, basically. Rotating to Tucker in the corner, stunting to Russ, not rotating all the way. They'll live with him shooting, but you know what? He can knock it down. He's not a super high percentage shooter, but he has a tendency to make shots at big moments in games like this. Again, you see the step back, creating a little bit of space. Nice job keeping his man on his back on the pick and roll. Again, against the drop coverage, you really need this shot in your arsenal, and he takes a lot more of those shots when Harden's out of the game. And look at this lineup. I mean, Houston doesn't really have another shot creator on the floor. McLemore, House, Capella, Rivers. Russ needs to have a high usage rate with that group in the game and gets to play his game and his role and take shots. He'll make passes when they're open, but when he has a shot like this against the under here, he's going to take it. And this was another massive 3 at a huge point of the game. Give Houston a big lead. Here we see the drop again. And look at this. Against Paul George this time. Russ does a great job again, keeping him on his back. Little shot fake. Nice touch. Other thing he did phenomenally well, attacked the basket all night long. Even in half-court settings, like I said, he has the mid-range jumper, he has the three, but he didn't settle. Frequently attacked the basket, got and ones, got to the free throw line. Nice little after timeout play by Mike D'Antoni here. Made it look like he was going to hand it back to Harden. Instead, attacked the rim. Missed this one. Maybe Harrell got a piece of it, but by attacking the glass, by getting these rack attacks, you make it really easy for Clint Capella to just follow it right up, uncontested for the putback slam. Capella misses a bunny that time. Now Russ does a great job recognizing, okay, they're mismatched on the offensive rebound. Harrell's on me. Don't settle. Attack the basket. Get to the rim again. He was doing that all night long. Puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the rim. You see him again putting pressure on the defense. Not being guarded super tight. Doesn't matter. He can still attack the closeout. Look at this finish. I think he might have just got caught in the air there, but so athletic, so crafty, still finds a way to get it off the glass and get it in. You see Harden drawing so much attention, but look at this. Clippers are still matched up relatively well. Kawhi is guarding Russ right here. Doesn't matter. Russ is not afraid of anybody. You see him again cupping the ball, hanging in the air. Heck of a finish. Another after timeout play. D'Antoni does a really nice job on these. Look at the weak side. Little fluff action between House and Tucker. Keep the defense occupied. He draws this up knowing Russ's speed, turning the corner, coming off a pin down, has a tendency to draw the big in to help. And when that happens, Capella's got the whole backside cleared off now for the dump off for the dunk. Look at Russ again. Come off tight. Attack. Draw help. Unselfish extra pass. The knock on him as a selfish player is just comical. Look at this. Even against the under on a pick and roll. Okay, defense went under. Doesn't matter. Keep putting pressure on the defense. Look how he maneuvers on this one. An old kind of Rondo type move. Jab into your man. And then once he relaxes even for a second or jumps up out of his stance, then you keep attacking. Now Harrell, 2 on the ball. Harrell comes to stop you. Dump off pass to Capella. Easy, easy game. Just reads it so well. Look at the impact James Harden has here. He's being face guarded at half court. It's a pretty easy game to play when you get to play 4-on-4 in the half court. When this guy says, I'm not doing any help responsibilities, I'm not involved, I'm just going to stay out here and not let James Harden get the ball back. Okay, let's play pick and roll. When you got 4-on-4 with all this space to operate, Paul George comes in to tag on the pick and roll. Nice skip pass to the corner for P.J. Tucker where he shoots the ball so well. Look at this. This is the high IQ play. This is the stuff I talk about that you probably don't see. But Russ sees Patrick Patterson's in a show on Daniel House, doesn't want to switch off. Okay, call House back over. He's going to show again. This time I'm just going to ride out against the hedge, turn the corner, get the bump. 2 easy free throws to end the quarter. Now, another one, end of the quarter. Okay, he's showing again. So what do we do this time? This time he's going to string it out even longer, keep Patrick Patterson with him, let House pop, knowing that he's a stretch, wing, big, whatever you want to call him. House does a nice job popping to the open space. Russ does a great job delivering that pass over the top for a huge 3 end of the quarter. Look at this. Whenever you hear people talk about Russ doesn't cut, doesn't move off the ball, they usually don't know what they're watching. D'Antoni's not a huge off-ball movement, cutting system. He likes guys keeping the floor space, staying in the corner, staying in their spots, but when Harden gets doubled like he does here, McLemore does a nice job, or House does a nice job getting to the open spot. Russ does a nice job filling up and then slashing hard to the basket. And then look at this. Forces a little confusion down low, opening up for Capella. Look at this. 2 on the ball again with Harden. You think this guy's selfish? Harrell stunts to him just for a second. Opens up Tucker in the corner. Extra pass. Easy. Good to great. Russ has a good shot. Tucker has a great shot, even if he doesn't make it that time. The rebound. The pace. And you know what? Even when he misses shots, you think this guy ever stops playing? This is the nonstop motor. This is the relentlessness every single possession. Even if he misses a layup, He's going to get back in bounds, establish himself. That doesn't show up in the stat sheet. That was their ball. That's a huge possession. How about this one? Misses it again. Okay, how about I sneak and steal this ball in transition? Houston ball again. Big time plays. And then defense, you hear people mention the analytics. You hear people bash him for gambling. Okay, maybe occasionally, but this is pretty telling to me. The most amount of time coaches probably spend pregame is deciding on matchups. And you see, this is after a dead ball situation. Houston had him matched up with Paul George to start the game. That's even with Tucker in the game. That's with House in the game. That's with Harden in the game. The fact that they still trust Russ to guard a guy like Paul George, that's pretty telling to me. That tells me that the coaching staff thinks pretty highly of him as a defender and trusts him to take a challenge against some of the better offensive players in the league. You see him guarding George again here. Okay, looks like he might be lazily pointing, but you know what? That's actually Houston's scheme. They love switching basically every pin down. So he's actually very alert here, telling Capella, switch out if Paul George comes off this pin down. But you know what? Capella's a little late to recognize it, and George actually really fades it and just comes right off that first screen. So look at Russ. Look at this effort. Even though he wants Capella to switch, Russ isn't going to stop playing. He's going to fight through the screen, keep Paul George buried in the corner, let him get a good trap in there. Alert defense. Look at this. Again, your man goes away. Stay towards the basketball. Be in the help line. This is, you talk about the big physical body, his athleticism. When Kawhi sees this, even when he beats P.J. Tucker with the initial move, if he's thinking right here about driving all the way to his right hand, when you see Russ come over, be outside the charge circle like that, that's going to make guys pick up their dribble. It's a little thing. Again, doesn't show up in the stat sheet. Untrained eye probably doesn't see a ton of it, but it's a big-time play. Look at this. After timeout play for the Clippers. Nice action. Get Paul George coming off a staggered screen. James Harden is dead here. Look at Russ recognize. Whew. Look at him sprint out and get a great contest on Paul George. Again, might look lazy to you. You might not love switching defensively, but that's Houston's scheme. And it does take you being pretty locked in and communicating. Look at Russ. He's going to stay on the top side here so he can switch on to Paul George. Paul George is going to back cut. Harden's going to take him. Russ is going to stay on the top side of Harkless. They're going to communicate here. Who's got who? Takes being locked in, takes communicating. You see Kawhi turning the corner on an after timeout play. Might have a shot right here. Look at Russ stunting to the ball, being in the right spots, helping, flying around, doing the little things defensively. Harrell, Lou Williams have this great pick-and-roll chemistry. Get so many roll lobs, so many roll dunks. Look at Russ meeting him outside the charge circle with force, being there on time, in the right spot. Forces Harrell. Think about it a little bit too much. Slap it off his knee. Get Houston an extra possession. What makes Russ so good? Relentless competitor. Plays hard as heck every single second. Thanks for watching. Make sure you thumb up. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you check out the James Harden breakdown if you haven't seen it already. And again, Scout with Bryan on all platforms. Appreciate you guys. Talk soon.